Hello guys, we are watching Goku.
What if Goku was never weak? What if the divine energy that took him decades to unlock? The power that shocked a god of destruction? What if he was born with it? Not earned, not gifted, not ritual, just born with it. A low-class Saiyan baby, 0 on every scouter in the universe. Sent to a backwater planet nobody cared about. But inside that baby, sleeping still deep as the universe itself, was God Ki. The divine energy of angels and gods, innate, eternal, his. And here's what that means. Every villain from Frieza to Cell to Buu, not even a warm-up, Goku handles all of it in base form without breaking a sweat. The first opponent who actually requires a response? Beerus, a literal god of destruction. That's where the real story begins. This is, what if Goku was born with God Ki? A Saiyan pod crashes in the mountains of Earth. Grandpa Gohan, a retired martial artist living alone in the wilderness, finds it. Inside is a baby with a tail curled around itself, sleeping peacefully in the wreckage of interstellar travel. No crying, no fussing, just a pair of dark eyes that open, look up at the old man, and blink with complete calm. Gohan picks him up, the baby grabs his finger. The air around the child is extraordinarily still, peaceful in a way that goes beyond a quiet baby. Animals that should have fled the crash site are gathered at the edge of the clearing. Birds have landed on the pod itself. The whole forest feels like it exhaled. Gohan doesn't understand what he's feeling. He doesn't need to. He just knows he's keeping this kid. Names him Goku, takes him home, starts cooking dinner. Growing up Goku is extraordinary in ways Gohan can see but never fully explain. He absorbs martial arts training like breathing. By 5, he's faster than Gohan. By 7, Gohan can't track his movements at all. By 10, Goku is pulling his punches in every spar because he instinctively knows hitting the old man at full strength would be wrong. The God Ki never broadcasts, never radiates. To every sensor in the universe, Son Goku reads as 0. No power level, no key signature, nothing at all. But animals follow him everywhere. Nature relaxes around him. People who spend time near him feel calm without knowing why. Like standing next to something ancient and patient and fundamentally safe. Gohan notices all of this, doesn't have words for it, loves his grandson completely and moves on. The most important training they do together isn't strikes or footwork. It's the full moon in canon. The full moon is tragedy. Goku transforms into a great ape, loses control, accidentally kills the man who raised him. His tail gets cut. The transformation becomes a liability forever. Not here. Gohan understands something crucial. Goku's God Ki means his consciousness doesn't fully disappear during transformation. The instinct rises, but the person underneath doesn't vanish. It just gets buried under the surface. So they train it every full moon methodically. Patiently, month 1, Goku maintains enough consciousness to stop himself destroying their house. Month 3, Goku responds to Gohan's voice in Uzaru form. Month 6, transformation and detransformation at will. No full moon required. Pure God Ki as the trigger. 1 year in, controlled Great Ape Goku is a perfectly conscious divine weapon that decides when to engage and when to stop. The tail stays. The tragedy never happens. Grandpa Gohan is alive. Hold on to that. Then the Dragon Ball adventure begins. Goku leaves home for the first time and meets a blue-haired genius teenager named Bulma, chasing magical wish-granting orbs across the continent. Bulma's equipment detects Ki eye signatures. Goku has none. Her instruments read him as empty space standing in front of her. She stares at this kid who is physically larger than he should be for his apparent age. God Ki accelerating his development, maturing his body faster than normal human or even normal Saiyan growth, and cannot figure out what she's dealing with. He's completely guileless, treats every fight like a game he's already winning, and every person like a friend he just hasn't talked to yet. She finds him absolutely fascinating and immediately pretends she doesn't. That feeling doesn't go away. She keeps waiting for it to. It doesn't. The adventures that follow are essentially a victory lap for Goku. Pilaf's operation crumbles in minutes. The entire Red Ribbon Army falls in an afternoon. Mercenary Tao, the most feared assassin on the planet, hits Goku with his full force and clutches his hand in pain. Goku looks confused. Nobody can sense him. Nobody can prepare for him. Nobody has any framework for what he is. At the 23rd World Tournament, Goku faces Piccolo Jr., the reincarnation of the Demon King, trained for years specifically to destroy him. Piccolo brings everything. His most powerful techniques, his genuine killing intent. Goku beats him cleanly, then extends his hand and helps him up. Looks him in the eye and says, "You're not your father. I could feel the difference the whole fight." Piccolo doesn't respond, just stares. But he doesn't leave angry. He leaves thinking that moment, Goku's instinctive recognition of who someone actually is underneath what they're performing is the most important thing about him. More important than the God Ki. More important than any transformation coming later. The power is just power. That is Goku. 5 years pass, Goku is living in the mountains, training, eating, happy. Then a space pod lands and a man with the same face walks out. Raditz, Goku's biological older brother, elite Saiyan warrior, is scouter returning Zero on the man he came to collect. He assumes the equipment is broken, walks up fully confident, starts his speech about Saiyan heritage, the mission to conquer Earth, the powerful allies already on their way. Goku closes the distance before Raditz finishes his second sentence. Raditz is on the ground. One exchange. Done. Piccolo, who had positioned himself to ambush the confrontation, goes completely still. Quietly closes every mental file he ever kept on. Goku marked future threat to eliminate. All of it. Gone. Goku sits beside Raditz in his final moments and just listens. All of it. The Saiyan race, planet Vegeta, his real name Kakarot. The prince and the general coming to find him. He processes everything with the same eerie calm. He processes everything. Then says, "Thanks for telling me. I'm still from Earth, though." Raditz dies genuinely bewildered. Grandpa Gohan heard the whole conversation. When Goku finds him, he's sitting on the porch looking at the sky. Goku sits beside him. Long silence. "You were always my grandson," Gohan says. That part doesn't change. That's the whole conversation. That's all Goku needed. 2 Saiyan pods land on Earth, 3 figures step out. Vegeta, Prince of the Saiyan race, the most powerful mortal warrior in his universe's recent memory. Scouter reading 0 on Goku, Nappa, massive, destructive, already looking for something to blow up. Scouter also reading 0, and Kara, elite Saiyan warrior, stronger than Nappa, below Vegeta. Dark Eyes already surveying the situation before her pod door is fully open. She notes the 0 reading immediately, says nothing, and starts watching. Nappa starts destroying things. His version of announcing arrival. Goku appears between him and a group of civilians. Nappa charges 1 exchange down. Silence, Vegeta's scouter spins. He recalibrates manually. Still 0. He stares at this man standing in the rubble carrying no readable power level, who just dropped Nappa without visible effort. Everything Vegeta has ever believed about strength and hierarchy starts cracking in real time. Kara goes very still. She doesn't reach for her scouter again. Just watches Goku with an expression that's completely unreadable and quietly recalculates everything about this mission. "Vegeta," she says quietly, "that man reads 0. He just put Nappa down in 1 exchange. Think carefully before you do anything." "I know what it means," Vegeta says. "Do you?" He does. He just can't accept it yet. She can see that doesn't push further. Vegeta fights anyway. Because he's Vegeta and his pride cannot accept the alternative. The fight isn't competitive in terms of power. Goku is clearly above from the first exchange. But Vegeta fights with everything, because Vegeta cannot psychologically accept the result. Galick Gun deflected with 1 hand, every technique answered. Vegeta transforms, Great Ape form, world-shaking power spike. Goku looks at him, then transforms himself. 2 great apes facing each other in the ruined landscape, but only one is conscious. Only one is calm. God Ki Ozaru Goku walks toward Vegeta's berserk form and pins him to the ground with complete composure. That image, controlled divinity holding unchecked power completely still, says everything words can't. Kara takes 1 involuntary step backward, watching it. First time in her life she doesn't forget it, Goku wins. Spares all 3 of them. The Saiyans retreat, not strategically, but because Vegeta's foundation just collapsed, and he doesn't know how to exist in a world built on its rubble. Kara pilots the ship because someone has to. Nappa is unconscious in his pod. Long silence on the journey away from Earth. He was holding back, Kara says eventually. "I know," Vegeta says. The whole fight he never stopped. "I know," another
I'm
silence.
fine, I'm
"Who is
fine,
he?"
I'm
she
fine.
asks, genuinely. Vegeta opens his mouth, closes it, because the answer a low-class soldier doesn't fit anymore, and they both know it. Grandpa Gohan watched the entire battle from a hillside. When it ends and Goku walks back, the old man steps forward and puts a hand on his shoulder. No words, just there. Frieza is on planet Namek, conquering, enslaving an entire people for their Dragon Balls. The most feared name in the universe, operating without opposition, because nothing in the universe has ever successfully opposed him. Goku goes to stop him. Not because his friends are in danger. Gohan and Krillin went ahead and are managing, simply because Frieza is hurting innocent people, and Goku will not allow that. No other reason required. The Ginyu Force arrives, 5 elite warriors, the Emperor's finest. Their scouters read Goku as empty space, and they dismiss him completely. Ginyu himself attempts his body-switching technique when cornered, the move that has never failed him. The switch happens. His consciousness enters Goku's body, and is immediately rejected. God Ki at a cellular level is incompatible with a foreign soul. Every cell in Goku's body fights back simultaneously, like a divine immune response. Ginyu is expelled violently, shot back into his own body, knocked unconscious from the trauma. Goku walks it off. Meanwhile, Vegeta and Kara have also arrived on Namek, chasing their own agenda, watching from a distance as Goku handles everything they've been struggling with. Neither of them says anything out loud about it. Frieza in final form is the first opponent Goku has met since King Piccolo, who makes him think, oh, this is interesting. Not because Frieza threatens him, because Frieza's energy is genuinely extraordinary. His race produces power approaching divine adjacent levels naturally. There's something almost familiar about it to Goku's God Ki. The fight is one-sided but not instant. Frieza's durability, his speed, his transformations make it require actual attention. Goku wins in base. Planet Namek doesn't explode. Everyone survives. Frieza is left alive. Not out of naivety, out of philosophy. Something that powerful deserves the chance to choose differently. Frieza will not choose differently. But as the group returns to Earth, everyone alive, Namek saved. There's something in the air that hasn't been there before. Goku stood on another planet and handled the most feared name in the universe before lunch. The celebration back at Capsule Corp is loud and genuine. Grandpa Gohan meets the full group properly for the first time. He meets Vegeta, looks the Saiyan Prince up and down. So you're the one who couldn't beat my grandson, the old man says. Vegeta's eye twitches, the whole group laughs. Everyone alive, everyone together. This is what it's supposed to feel like. Bulma is watching Goku across the celebration. She looks away quickly, gets very busy with her drink. She's been doing this for years. Looking away quickly, getting very busy with something nearby. She's aware of what it means. She's choosing not to examine it yet. Beerus is sleeping, has been sleeping for years. Won't wake for a while yet, but Whis is always awake. Whis, angel attendant to the god of destruction of Universe 7. One of the most powerful beings in existence, has been observing Earth passively through his staff. Standard monitoring, routine. Except Goku has been an anomaly in those observations since the beginning. Innate God Ki appears nowhere in angel historical records. The known pathways to divine energy are fully documented. Ritual, divine lineage, extreme training under existing divine beings. A mortal born with it as a natural state has simply never happened. Whis finds Goku training alone in the mountains one morning. Watches for an hour without revealing himself. Studies the energy not radiating outward like learned divine energy, but circulating inward. A closed system, self-sustaining, like a star that somehow forgot to shine outward, then steps forward. You have no idea what you are, do you? Goku turns around, sees an angel considers this for approximately 1 second. Cool staff, wanna spar? Whis blinks, smiles for real for the first time in a very long time. The training lasts 2 years. Goku tells Grandpa Gohan he's going away to learn something. Gohan nods, makes him a packed lunch. Goku stares at it, takes it anyway. What Whis teaches isn't God Ki. Goku already has that. Whis teaches structure, how divine energy functions at its deepest architectural level. The difference between having power and understanding it. Why the gap between instinct and mastery matters even when the foundation is already divine. Goku learns to make his God Ki even more still, more compressed, so perfectly contained that even angels can't detect it passively. He learns what his transformations will mean when they come. Why a Super Saiyan multiplier built on a God Ki base produces something categorically different from anything in canon. And once, just once, Whis mentions Ultra Instinct, describes it conceptually, says for most beings it requires decades of specialized training, then looks at Goku thoughtfully, says nothing more. Goku files it somewhere deep and doesn't think about it consciously again. Back on Earth during those 2 years, Bulma misses him, not in the way you miss a friend who's traveling. In the specific way you miss someone whose absence makes the air feel different. She notices it embarrassingly quickly after he leaves and spends the first 3 months being annoyed about noticing. By month 6, she stopped being annoyed and started being honest with herself. She's in love with him, has been for years probably. The looking away and getting busy with drinks wasn't confusion. It was avoidance. She knew exactly what it was. She just wasn't ready to do anything about it. She decides she'll tell him when he comes back. Straightforward, practical. That's how Bulma handles things. Then she spends the next 18 months figuring out exactly how to say it and abandoning every version she comes up with. God Ki plus Whis training has finished what the year started. He comes back broader, settled. The same laugh, the same appetite, the same complete guilelessness. But the boyishness replaced by something that reads as quietly enormous? The group's reaction is chaos. Krillin's jaw drops. Piccolo opens one eye for meditation, looks at Goku, closes it, Ki fluctuating slightly in a way that would mean something to anyone paying attention. Vegeta goes very quiet. Bulma sees him walk through the gate, turns around, walks directly into the kitchen, starts making tea with the focused intensity of someone diffusing something. Goku looks at the kitchen doorway, looks at Grandpa Gohan. Gohan shrugs, keeps eating. That evening, everyone else inside, the celebration winding down. Goku finds Bulma on the roof, looking at the city lights, sits beside her. She doesn't look away this time. I missed you, she says. Simple, honest. I missed you too, he says. Just as simple, just as honest. She looks at him, at this person who has never performed anything in his life. I think I've been in love with you for a long time, she says. I just kept not saying it. Goku looks at her for a moment. I know, he says. She stares at him. You knew? You looked away a lot, he says. Gohan told me what that means. Gohan, she stops, looks at the sky. Your grandfather told you, he said, be patient, that you'd get there. She starts laughing, helpless and real and slightly furious. That old man, he's usually right, Goku says. She looks at him. He's looking back with that complete directness that has always undone her. No agenda, no performance, just Goku being Goku completely. Yeah, she says. He usually is. Grandpa Gohan finds them still sitting there an hour later, sees them, walks away whistling. After that, Goku and Bulma married quietly. Sometime after, no grand ceremony, just the two of them. Grandpa Gohan and a handful of close friends at Capsule Corp. Bulma wore blue. Goku forgot to comb his hair. Nobody minded. Months later, a son is born. Bulma names him Gohan. Goku holds him for the first time and goes completely still. Something in him recalibrates instantly and permanently. Every fight before this had a reason. This one just became a person. Grandpa Gohan holds her next, looks at Goku, doesn't say anything about the tail he doesn't have, just smiles the way he did the day he found a baby in a crashed pod decades ago. Dr. Gero has been collecting data on Earth's fighters for decades. Detailed files on everyone. His file on Son Goku is one line. Data collection fails. Power level undetectable. Exclude from absorption parameters. The androids are designed without Goku in the equation. Gero has nothing to work from. Build 17 and 18 to absorb everyone else and hopes the combined result is enough. It isn't close. Android 17 meets Goku. Every sensor returns blank. He tilts his head. You don't exist according to my data. I get that a lot. Goku says, Cell emerges, perfect form, the most advanced organic power system ever constructed. His sensors should be able to measure anything in the universe. Goku approaches, Cell extends everything he has, still nothing. Then Goku extends one thread of God, key outward. Not aggressive, almost like a greeting Cell's. Entire threat assessment crashes and reboots. You're not the same kind of thing as the others, Cell says quietly. Nope, says Goku. Goku could end it immediately. Cell knows it. The terror underneath Cell's composure is visible to anyone paying attention. But Goku steps back, calls Gohan forward. His son has something inside him. Goku has felt it since Gohan was born. Something that isn't God Ki, but is its own extraordinary thing. A potential that needs exactly this moment to wake up properly. Goku stands beside Gohan through the whole fight. Present coaching. When Gohan's hidden power finally erupts and he overwhelms Cell completely, Goku is right there watching with pride that's almost visible as a physical thing. Grandpa Gohan stands nearby. 3 generations, his grandson coaching his great-grandson. The old man is crying and not hiding it. Cell goes down. Nobody dies. But Babidi, dark wizard magic that works by finding darkness in a heart and amplifying it. He tries it on Goku, it bounces off. God Ki in a state of such fundamental purity that dark energy interacts with it the way water interacts with sunlight. Absorbed, neutralized, completely gone. The feedback knocks Babidi's assistants unconscious. Vegeta allows the Majin transformation deliberately, not because he's corrupted, because he spent years unable to close a gap that keeps growing, and something in him finally breaks toward recklessness. He wants one real fight without limits. Goku versus Majin Vegeta. Not competitive in power, but completely real in heart. Vegeta fighting with everything he is. Goku meeting him just above his ceiling. Close enough that Vegeta can almost touch it. When it ends, Vegeta is on the ground. Goku crouches beside him. That's the best you've ever fought, Goku says. Vegeta stares at the sky. The question he's been asking for years, the one that replaced his old certainties about hierarchy and power, finally finds something it can rest on. Not defeat, not bitterness, almost peace. Kid Buu emerges. The most chaotic energy in existence, not powerful by God Ki standards, but genuinely annoying in the way a storm is annoying. Endless regeneration. Complete unpredictability. No psychology to read or appeal to. Goku handles him in base, but it takes time. This fight isn't about overcoming a threat. It's about solving a puzzle that keeps resetting. Spirit Bomb, not because Goku needs the power, because he wants humanity to be part of its own salvation. Symbolic as much as practical. Buu is gone, universe safe. That night, Goku sits alone on a mountain looking at the stars. For the first time, he wonders what's above him. His entire life, nothing has been above him. Every villain, every tournament, every world-ending threat, all of it handled in base without a single transformation. Something is out there. He can feel it the way you feel weather coming. The question doesn't scare him. He smiles at the stars. Beerus wakes up. God of Destruction Universe 7. One of the most powerful beings in existence. Dreams of a Super Saiyan God. His divine senses reach across the universe searching for the signature. Planet after planet, star system after star system. Earth, nothing. No God Ki anywhere, because Goku's God Ki doesn't broadcast. Never has. It exists completely internally. No outward signature, no detectable radiation. Even divine senses tuned specifically to God Ki frequencies find nothing. Beerus comes to Earth anyway, follows the dream itself rather than the energy, arrives at a party at Capsule Corp. His divine senses sweep the crowd automatically. Everyone registers, Vegeta standing out above the rest. Raised power levels, standard mortal key signatures throughout. One person reads as nothing. Beerus turns, looks at Goku. Are you the strongest on this planet? Probably, Goku says. Beerus raises his hand. Destruction energy gathering. The move that ends conversations. Goku looks at the raised hand, looks at Beerus's face. Oh, you actually want to fight? Okay. Beerus blinks. Nobody has responded to the raised hand like that. In centuries, they move to the mountains. Enough space. Beerus attacks at a fraction of his power. Goku absorbs it. Beerus stops, stares, hits again. Harder. Continent level force. Goku is still there. Still reading 0. Still completely calm for 30 seconds base God Ki. Goku keeps pace with the God of Destruction. Beerus hasn't felt genuine resistance in centuries. He pushes harder. The gap begins to open. Beerus' real power showing through. Goku gets pushed back. First time in his life, he's been genuinely pushed back. Something responds inside him. The thing that's always been there, that still, deep, eternal thing, shifts. A gear engaging for the first time after decades of waiting. God Blue SSJ-1 unlocks. The aura erupts, visible from space. Not borrowed divine energy. Not ritual power. Not a temporary state. This is Goku's God Ki expressing itself through a Super Saiyan transformation, built on a foundation that was always divine, always his always permanent. Beerus' divine senses, reading complete silence on this man their entire interaction. Receive a signal so overwhelming, it's like the universe switching from mute to maximum in a single instant. He staggers back half a step. There you are, Beerus says quietly. The fight at God Blue SSJ-1 is two gods fighting. The mountains don't survive. The sky fractures. Other universes feel the shockwaves in their foundations. Then Goku lands a hit. Clean, direct. Impact fully registers. Beerus staggers. One full step backward. His hand goes to where he was struck. He looks at his hand, looks at Goku, smiles wider than he is. Smiled in 1,000 years. That hurt, he says, like it's the greatest gift he's received in his entire existence. Beerus ends the fight with his full power. The gap between SSJ-1 and a God of Destruction's maximum is still real, but it is razor thin compared to anything Beerus has encountered in living memory. He doesn't destroy Earth, sits down, eats food from the party, thinks, tells Whis afterward, "You already knew, didn't you?" Whis just smiles. Grandpa Gohan watched from the ground below. Couldn't track the fight too fast, too high, too much power in the air, but felt every shockwave through the soles of his feet standing in the garden. When Goku lands, he's breathing hard, first time Gohan has ever seen it. The old man walks over slowly, puts a hand on his shoulder. "Did you have fun?" Goku looks at him, grins, "So much fun!" Gohan laughs, they walk back together. Frieza did the one thing he never bothered doing his entire life. He trained, pushed his body to its absolute natural ceiling. What emerged is a form that for the first time in his existence produces genuinely divine adjacent energy. His race was always approaching this level naturally. Training pushed him through the final wall. And for the first time, his senses don't return complete blank space on Goku. He feels something immense and still an ancient, and it unsettles him at a level he won't acknowledge out loud. God Blue SSJ-1 Goku versus Golden Frieza. The first genuine peer level fight since Beerus. Frieza's divine adjacent energy can actually interact with God Ki now. They can sense each other, read each other, contest space cleanly, while Frieza's stamina in golden form has limits. The fight is real while it lasts. Goku wins. Frieza on the ground looks up, for the first and only time in his life asks a genuine question, with no manipulation behind it. "What are you?" Goku considers it seriously, a Saiyan from Earth, and I think something a little extra. Disgusting. Frieza says, "You always say that." Goku says, "You should try a different word." Frieza almost smiles, gets retrieved by his men, retreats. Something cracked in his absolute certainty about the hierarchy of existence. It won't heal the same way. Future Trunks arrives with a sword and a warning. His time machine sparks on landing, something damaged in the jump. He steps out, sees Goku standing with Bulma, then Vegeta beside a Saiyan woman he's never seen before. He pauses for half a second, glances at the smoking console. "Must be the jump," he mutters and moves on. There isn't time to ask. A being called Goku Black is destroying the future, wearing Goku's face, using power that came from stealing Goku's body through divine wish granting. But this Goku's body has innate God Ki. Zamasu didn't just steal a powerful vessel, he stole a divine one. Black is extraordinary from his first appearance. God Blue SSJ-1 level immediately. Goku's cellular god ki running under Zamasu's immortal ambition and hatred for mortals. The power gap that existed in canon between present Goku and Black simply doesn't exist here. Black is genuinely terrifying. The trips to the future grow increasingly desperate. The world is ruined. People are dying. Fused Zamasu Black and Zamasu merged is overwhelming at its peak. Then Goku sees it completely. The full scope of it, the world broken, the people lost, innocents who simply deserve to exist, gone. Because a god decided mortals were beneath dignity. Goku's god ki always perfectly still, always perfectly calm. The lake that never ripples experiences genuine rage for the first time. Not hot, wounded pride, something colder, deeper, the rage of a pure heart confronted with pure evil. God Blue SSJ2 unlocks. The energy signature is visible across multiple timelines. Angels in other universes look up. Vegito fusion happens. God Blue SSJ2 Vegito is something that doesn't exist in any divine record anywhere. The Grand Priest on Zeno's world feels it and pauses mid-sentence. The future timeline still gets erased by Zeno, because that's the rule. No amount of power overrides the Omni King's authority. No transformation, no fusion, no divine energy changes the fact that some calls simply aren't Goku's to make. That's the most humbling moment of his life so far, stronger than anything he's ever fought. And still, there are rules above his power. He carries that quietly. Goku tells Grandpa Gohan about the future timelines, about Trunks' world, about a Gohan who died there, a different Gohan, a future one. But still, the old man sits with it for a long time, then says, that world needed its Goku, and he wasn't there. Pause. Good thing you're here then. Goku hugs him. Zeno announces the Tournament of Power. 8 universes, 80 fighters. The universes that lose get erased from existence. Last team standing saves their world. The stakes are absolute. The scale is cosmic. Universe 7 assembles its team. Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Vegeta, Krillin, Android 17, Android 18, Tien, Master Roshi, and Frieza the wild card who agrees not out of loyalty or heroism, but because this is the only stage that exists at a level worthy of him. And maybe though he'll never say it, because standing near Goku at this level is the only place his existence feels like it means something. They arrive in the world of Void, a tournament arena outside normal space, built to contain the strongest fighters in 8 universes. Every fighter's energy broadcasts into the void. Gods of destruction and angels monitoring from the observation platforms, reading everything clearly. Universe 11's Jiren, meditating in the corner, enormous power even at rest. Universe 6's Hint, Ki signature clean and precise as a scalpel. Every other fighter in every other universe registering exactly as expected. Universe 7's corner, Vegeta clear, Gohan clear, Piccolo clear,
What
Son
the
Goku,
fuck, guys?
nothing. Multiple gods frown simultaneously. Several angels tilt their heads. The Grand Priest, eternal, serene expression that never changes, looks at that corner of the arena for a fraction of a second longer than everything else. Who is standing nearby notices the Grand Priest's glance, says nothing. Barris in the observation stands, looks across the void at Goku. Goku looks back, small nod between them. The nod of two beings who already know something the rest of the arena is about to find out. The tournament begins. Early rounds, Goku in base. Complete silence from his corner to every sensor in the void. Fighters approach him reading 0 and attack with confidence. They stop being confident very quickly. Universe 6's Saiyans, Caulifla and Kale, feel something from Goku that resonates with their Saiyan blood even though they can't sense his ki at all. Caulifla demands a fight on principle. Goku meets her in base with 2 fingers and grins through the whole exchange. When she's eliminated, she stares at him from the edge. You were holding back the whole time. A little, he admits how much he thinks about it genuinely. A lot she's furious. She's also never been more motivated in her life. Hit enters. Time skip activated. The technique that has never been countered, that freezes a fraction of a second and moves freely through it. The move that ended hundreds of assassination targets who never knew what happened. It doesn't work on Goku. God Ki existing partially outside normal temporal flow means Goku's body continues responding even inside frozen time. The skip lands on nothing. Hit stops, stares at the empty space where Goku should be frozen. This is the most interesting problem he has encountered in centuries of contract work. The fight develops genuinely, Hit adapting, evolving, pushing his technique further than he ever has in actual combat. Goku wins, but Hit leaves transformed. The challenge of fighting someone immune to his entire methodology forced an evolution he didn't see coming. Mid-tournament, first transformation required, Kefla, the fusion of Caulifla and Kale through Potara earrings, produces something unexpected. Saiyan fusion running on awakened God Ki adjacent energy. The first fighter in this tournament who requires a real response. Goku powers up. The aura erupts into the void. 8 universes worth of divine energy sensors going from complete silence to maximum volume simultaneously. Gods and angels receiving this signal for the very first time. Beerus sits forward, arms that were crossed falling to his sides. Kefla and God Blue SSJ-1 Goku. The showcase fight the tournament needed. Raw and explosive. Kefla giving everything she has. Goku finally meeting an opponent properly. He wins. She gets eliminated. As she falls, she watches him de-transform and crack his knuckles. Next time she says, definitely, he says. He means it completely. Jiren has been in the corner of the arena since the tournament began, meditating, complete stillness. 3 opponents came at him during the early rounds. He eliminated them without opening his eyes. His ki sensing, which surpasses gods of destruction, the sharpest instrument of its kind in any of the 8 universes, has been returning complete silence on Universe 7's strongest fighter this entire time. Normally, silence means nothing, means 0 crowd. But the Grand Priest keeps glancing at that corner. And the Grand Priest doesn't glance at nothing. Jiren opens his eyes when Goku approaches. First time he's opened them voluntarily since the tournament started. Looks at Goku, full attention. Everything he has directed at this one figure. Still nothing on his senses. I can't sense you, Jiren says. Most people can't. That should mean you're weak. What does it mean instead? Jiren is quiet for a moment. I don't know yet. Let's find out, Goku says. No aura, no display, no key signature broadcasting into the void. Just presence. Jiren's first strike connects, and Goku absorbs it and doesn't move. Jiren's eyes widen. He throws full measured power, one-handed deflection. Every universe watching goes silent. Stage 2, God Blue SSJ-1. The aura erupts. Divine energy flooding the arena. Every sensor in the void going from silence to maximum simultaneously. Beerus is standing. Has been standing since the aura appeared. God Blue SSJ-1 versus Jiren measured, both of them testing, reading, mapping. Jiren gets pushed back 3 steps. He stops, looks at his feet, then looks at Goku. Something moves in Jiren's chest that hasn't moved since his master was alive. Curiosity, Stage 3, God Blue SSJ-2. Jiren responds. The restraint he maintains over his power. The careful, measured release he applies to every fight because full power is rarely necessary. Comes fully off. What emerges is what Jiren actually is. A mortal who broke through into divine territory through the sheer refusal of his will to accept limits. The Pride Trooper who surpassed his own god of destruction. Power with no precedent in the historical records of Universe 11. The arena starts cracking. Other fighters retreat to the edges instinctively. The void warps around their exchange. Goku matches him, then goes beyond. God Blue SSJ-2 erupts. Qualitatively different. Divine energy at a higher harmonic. The second multiplier on a foundation that was always divine. Jiren stands completely still in the middle of it and smiles. Small, almost invisible, real. He hasn't smiled in a fight since the day his master died. Beerus, watching from the stands, has stopped breathing. All 8 gods of destruction are on their feet. Every angel has abandoned their practiced neutrality and is openly watching. Stage 4. Jiren releases the last restraint. Everything. The place past all training and technique where pure will lives. The core of what makes Jiren Jiren. The thing that survived losing everything and rebuilt itself into something that transcended its own limits. The arena is being destroyed. Platforms falling into the void. Space warping under competing forces. Goku looks at Jiren through all of it. There it is. That's what you actually are. God Blue SSJ-3 unlocks. Volcanic. Hair extending. A tower of blue-white divine energy visible from every corner of the world of void. The third multiplier on a god key foundation. Something that has no name in any divine record anywhere. Beerus says quietly to Whis, "He's beyond me now." Whis doesn't respond. Eyes haven't moved from the arena. Every god of destruction standing, every angel watching openly. The world of void completely silent except for the sound of 2 fighters who have given everything and are somehow still going. Maximum Jiren and God Blue SSJ-3 Goku, equal, perfectly matched in this moment. Every exchange a shockwave, then Jiren reaches past his power, past his training, past everything he built, into the core of what makes him Jiren. The will that survived losing everything and chose to become something beyond its own limits anyway. The most real something in Goku response. Not technique, not training, not pressure forcing a reaction. Recognition, like meeting something that finally deserves everything you actually are. Ultra Instinct doesn't emerge as desperation. It emerges as an opening. A door that's always been there swinging wide because the moment earned it. His hair shifts, not silver, like Canon UI. White gold, sunlight through divine energy, and in his aura barely visible, more felt than seen. The ghost of an Uzaru. His Saiyan roots, his divine nature, both things he's always been together completely for the first time. The Grand Priest stands up. Every angel in the arena turns to look at him. The Grand Priest has never stood during a tournament, not in 10,000 years of overseeing these events. He looks at Goku, his expression eternally serene, eternally unreadable. Carries something that might be wonder. The fight ends not with Jiren dramatically eliminated, but with Jiren reaching his honest limit. His body gives out before his will does. He falls to one knee, stays there. Goku de-transforms, walks over, sits down next to him on the cracked floor of the void. Jiren looks at him. What drives you? Jiren says. Something he needs to say out loud, to keep going past every limit. What is it? Goku thinks about it genuinely, Grandpa Gohan, finding him in that crater. Bulma looking away quickly and getting busy with her drink. Krillin's laugh. Piccolo's eye roll, that means he cares. Barris's face the first time he got hit. Frieza's almost smile. Jiren's small smile in the middle of everything. I just really love this, Goku says. Fighting someone who's actually there. Someone real. Jiren stares at him, then laughs. Rough. Unpracticed, like a mechanism engaging for the first time in years. Ridiculous, Jiren says. Yeah, Goku agrees. They sit on the cracked floor of a void between universes. Two fighters who gave everything, neither of them anywhere near ready to be done with the world. Universes restored. Zeno satisfied. The world of breathing takes. Barris stands in the observation area, Whis beside him. He watches Goku across the void. Gohan hugging him, Krillin crying loudly. Vegeta standing slightly apart but closer than he'd ever admit. Frieza watching with that complicated expression he'll never explain to anyone. That mortal has surpassed me, Beerus says. Flat, factual, not a single trace of bitterness. Yes, Whis says. You knew. From the beginning. I suspected from the beginning. Beerus is quiet. Then, is that what the dream was? Not a Super Saiyan god. Just him, I think. Whis says the dream was...